Good morning, students. I welcome you for the chemistry class. As this chapter was started in the online classes, I could see there was a lot of internet issues. Because of that, I am repeating in the video recording. So first few slides which has been taught will be repeated again so that it will be useful to you, where you can copy down the important questions and answer. So we'll go ahead with the chapter Coal and Petroleum. First, let us know what are resources. So, resources is the sources or the supply from which we can get benefited in some or the other way. Two types of resources are natural resources, man-made resources. Coming to natural resources, with something which we obtain from nature. Example, wind, soil, water, air. Coming to man-made, as the name itself indicates, it is made from humans and that is available for our consumption. So they are not available naturally. And coming to natural resources, it can be exhaustible and inexhaustible. Inexhaustible natural resources that occurs naturally and they are unlimited. So their presence is very much unlimited. We can use it. No? So these are inexhaustible and they do not get exhausted by human activities. Example, air, sunlight. Coming to exhaustible natural resources, so as the name itself indicates, so these resources that occur naturally and they are present in a limited amount. So they are limited in nature. So these are exhaustible and this can get exhausted by human activities and might disappear altogether. So it takes hundreds or thousands of years to replenish. For example, forest, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas. In this particular chapter, we'll discuss about coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Can sunlight get exhausted by human activities? Sunlight is the ultimate source of energy which is available free of cost. It cannot be exhausted by human activities as it is produced by the natural process of fusion inside the earth. So due to this nuclear fusion, extremely large amount of energy is produced which comes in the form of sunlight. Name some inexhaustible substance other than sunlight and air. So I know few students have given the answer. You can list these examples in your textbook. So which of the following is a natural resources? It is among these four options. It is air. Option C. Coming to an activity. So make a list of various materials used by us in the daily life and classify them as natural and man-made. So please refer your text activity 5.1 and make a list. Right? And this is sample for you. And does this list includes air, water, soil, and minerals? If you have listed, please mention it as yes. This list contains air, water, soil, and minerals. Can we use all our natural resources forever? No, we cannot use all our natural resources forever because they are going to get exhausted one day. Can air, water, soil be exhausted by human activities? No, they cannot be exhausted at all. Is water a limitless source? Yes, water is a limitless source, but by an unwise use and deforestation, disruption in the water cycle, the sources of water getting finished means it is getting depleted. Coal, petroleum, natural gas are the exhaustible natural resources. They are fossil fuels. So let us know what are fossil fuels. So these are the fuels which are formed by fossils, means the dead remains of living organisms. What are fuels? A fuel is any substance that releases large amount of energy in the form of heat and light when it is burned. For example, coal, petroleum, etc. How fuels are classified? So they are classified as solid, liquid and gaseous. So coming to solid, so these fuels exist in a solid state at room temperature. Example, coal, firewood, animal dung cakes, charcoal, coke. Liquid fuel, so these are volatile liquids that produce vapors when it is burnt and produces energy. For example, petrol, diesel, kerosene. Gaseous, so these are the fuels that exist in the form of gases or a mixture of different gaseous fuels. Example, natural gas, biogas, CNG, coal gas. So CNG is compressed natural gas. So fuels, so what's a different purpose of fuels? So why it is required? So where all it has been used? Coming to transportation. So fuels are used to run different vehicles such as car, trucks, motorcycles, trains, aeroplanes. Cooking. Fuels are needed for cooking. For instance, LPG is used in urban areas while firewood, coal, and cattle dung is used in rural areas. And heating. Fuel is also used to generate heat. Electricity production. Different fuels such as coal, petrol, natural gas, diesels are used to generate electricity in power plants. Industrial usage. Many industries use fuels for different purposes such as producing electricity, running their machineries, and for heating. Rockets and other space vehicles. So fuels such as propellants are used in rockets, which helps in launching the space vehicles. So these are the uses, different purpose of fuels. Coming to characteristics of a good fuels. It should be economical, it should be available easily, and it should not emit the poisonous gases on burning, and it should produce a large amount of heat with respect to its mass. And it should be easy to transport, easy to handle. It should not produce any bad odor. It should be clean and should not produce any ashes. It should not get ignited easily at room temperature. So these are the characteristics of a good fuel. So coming to coal. So coal is a hard like stone substance which is black in color. It's a fossil fuel which is formed from dead plant matter over millions of years due to heat and pressure. Over millions of years, coal is formed through different biological geological process on dead and decaying plant matter. Coal mainly contains carbon. The process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Coal comes from coal mine. History of coal, the story how the coal has been formed. So before 300 million years there were forests existing on the earth. So as a result of some natural disasters like floods, these forests got buried in the earth. Eventually the layer of soil gets deposited over them and compressed due to high pressure and temperature over this buried forest. So all this dead vegetation were converted into coal. So these are the process. So slow process of conversion of wood into coal over millions of years is known as carbonization. You can see over here a huge forest. It's around 200 to 300 million years ago. And this, whenever the vegetation died and got buried, right? And these anaerobic bacteria removes hydrogen and oxygen. And later, you can see under high pressure and temperature, coal was formed. So coming to types of coal, peat. So peat is the youngest variety of coal which is light brown in color which contains only 50 to 60% of carbon. Lignite. Lignite is the next stage after carbonization of peat which contains 60 to 70% of carbon. Bitumen. It's a common variety which contains 75% to 80% of carbon. Coming to anthracite. So it's the oldest variety of coal which contains 90 to 95% of carbon. So coming to uses of coal. So it's used in variety like manufacture of coke, coal gas, and synthetic petroleum products. It's been used as a fuel. So we'll be studying in the next classes, further classes. So what is the composition of coal? So coal contains hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and sulfur. What is coal mines? Coal is extracted from the ground by a process called mining. Coal mining is of two types: open cast mining, so mining in which coal is extracted from near the earth's surface; underground mining, so mining in which coal is extracted from deep inside the earth crust. Coming to uses of coal. Used as fuel to cook food, used in thermal power plants to produce electricity, used as fuels in various industries, once used as a fuel to run a steam powered railway engines. When you process coal, you do get coke, coal tar, coal gas, which is used in many industries. So this is how it is formed. So this is all for your extra informations. So destructive distillation. It's a process in which coal is heated at a very high temperature in the absence of air. So at that particular moment you will get coke and you get vapors of that. So that vapors will be bubbled through water. So when you bubble through water, you get an insoluble gas. So that will be coal gas. And whatever the liquid state, what you get the condensed form, so that will be allowed to cool down and you get a liquor ammonia, right? And you get a liquor ammonia and the residue coal tar. So there's an extra information you can see, students. There's a powdered coke over here, and you can see the gases which comes out will be bubbled through water. So this dissolves ammonia to form ammonical liquor. Okay, and coal gas, what is, you just see it is insoluble and it just comes out. It is collected. So that's how you get coke, coal gas, and coal tar. So this is a flow chart how it is prepared, and all these are extra informations for you to know the process, and no need to write in your class book. Okay, only the question answers has to be there. So coming to coal, when you heat strongly in the absence of oxygen, you get the residue as coke, the black color. You can see the diagram, and hot vapors. So these hot vapors are cooled and bubble through water. So what we get, an insoluble gas, that is coal gas, and a condensed liquid. So this condensed liquid is allowed to stand where you get a upper layer a liquor ammonia, and the lower layer what you get is coal tar. So coming to uses of that. So coke. Coke is very tough, porous and black substance. Almost it's a pure carbon. So it's used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals. The processing of coal to get coke also yields coal gas. Coming to coal tar. It's black, thick liquid with unpleasant smell. Mixture of about 200 substances, which yields many products that are used as raw materials to manufacture drug, explosive, naphthalene balls, perfumes, synthetic dyes, paints, plastics, roofing materials, and photographic materials. Earlier, coal tar was used for metalling the roads, but now we can see bitumen has been used. It's a petroleum product. Coming to coal gas, it's a byproduct of processing coal to get coke. It's used in many industries as fuel. It is used as a heat source, not as a light source. So it was once used as a street lighting. So it was used for this purpose. It's in London in 1810, and for the first time it was in New York in 1820. So thank you, students. So there are extra informations in that. Please go through the video properly, and an instruction. So whenever we say instruction, please do follow that. No need to write anything in the classwork right now except those question and answers. Okay. Activity based questions are there where you can note down in your classwork itself. Here, uses of coke, coal gas, coal tar, it's there in your text. So please refer your text. Any extra informations you can just write down there itself. Thank you. Have a nice day.